Chords. A rather advanced topic to discuss. One you should tackle at some point if you haven't already. There are only 12 of each minor and major chords, so not that many. If you take every single one of these 12 tones, you can build a major or a minor chord on it. You can learn all them by rote, or there's the option to figure out the basic logic behind them and then begin to learn them in contexts. So there are different schools of thought of how you should go about this. You should try them all. What I'm going to show you is the logical way of building and learning them. So we're going to use these diagrams, illustrations, whatever you want to call them, which you can download from the website. They're free to download. If you can afford, get yourself this book. But again, we're going to use these diagrams, and in context, there's always going to be 3 minor chords and 3 majors, and also a diminished. We're going to leave the diminished aside, and we're just going to look at the minor and majors. Now, without worrying at all about what they're called, how you spell them, I'm going to show you the fundamental structure of both the minor and the major chords. So on the website you also have this diagram of the intervals, and there are 2 particular intervals there that I'm going to use in this demonstration. One is the major third and the other one is the minor third. So a minor third is whatever note you pick. To find a minor third, you go dun dun dun, and that's its minor third. Similarly, going upwards, and then a major third is an extra step, so it's, and similarly going downwards. Now, the major third is the core structure around which you build any of these 2 types of chords, minor or major. And so we're going to hold on to the major. We're going to pick a different note. Let's use this one because we're going to actually end up in a particular context where this is relevant. So we're going to find its major third. Now, if you add a minor third below this structure, you then have a minor chord. So again, not worrying about what this is called, we can instantly recognize this as a minor chord because of this minor third below a major third interval. Now, if you add a minor third interval above this core structure of a major third, you then end up with a major chord. So again, we have a minor chord and then a major chord. Now, you might have noticed already that between these 2 chords, there's only 1 tone difference. There is a core structure, and then there's a tone that's below that creates a minor third, and the tone that's above that creates a major third. Now, this is very important because diatonically, these 6 chords, 3 minor, 3 major, are actually related in this same fashion. So paired up 2 by 2, they will always share a core structure. So this, I'm going to use a variation of the solfege to demonstrate. La and Do are paired up, as well as Re and Fa, and Mi and So. And I'm going to illustrate this in a context that's going to be very helpful to you. And I would invite you to also do this, build this diagram that I'm going to build here by yourself. multiple times, like whichever context you decide to work in, and there's 12 of them diatonically. You should first build this diagram and then start working. So we're going to start with this idea of a clock face. You'll see that this clock face, the idea of a clock face, is actually very useful and found in many musical ideas also. So we're going to start with 12 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And then in between these, we're going to add 2 dots for each. I'm making it a bit smaller than usual because I'm going to put something below. Now at 12 o'clock we're going to have La. It's going to be boring for a minute, but bear with me. Ti at 2 o'clock. Do at 3 o'clock. Re at 5 o'clock. Mi at 7 o'clock. Fa at, what is this, 8 o'clock. And finally, So at 10 o'clock. Notice it's not Sol with an L, it's So. There is a reason for that. I won't go into that for now. And then, like I said, diatonically, you're always going to have these 7 particular chords. So you're always going to have a minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major. So there's going to be, they are always going to be in this order, and they're always going to be La, Ti. Again, I know this is boring to watch, but just bear with me. Now this is the template. That's always going to be like so. And then once you pick a context, we're going to pick this 4th context. Once you pick a context, you can then build specific chords using specific tones. So the 4th mid-yaw, we have C sharp. We're going to put that above, yes. So C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and B. And now, finally, we're good to go. Now, the first scale that you see is going to be C sharp Aeolian. So, and then moving clockwise, you're going to have, as illustrated on this diagram, you're going to have Locrian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, and so on. Now, I would invite you to play all these scales with each hand, get your fingers used to that idea. And then once you feel confident, or when you get bored, whichever's first, you can then start building chords. And you can either build chords by skipping a tone. So skip 1, pick 1, skip 1, pick 1. And build them like that. Or you can use the thing that I showed earlier with a fundamental structure. Remember that you're using these particular 7 tones and no others. And you will then begin to see how these are always related to each other. So again, it's going to be La and Do, Re and Fa, Mi and So. And this is always going to be the case. Now, the best way to learn these in context is to play along to recorded music. And in this case, you just need to look for the 4 o'clock icon. So in this case, this one here, I don't know if it's visible, but there's a whole bunch of songs in every single one of these. And more are being added. So the idea is you play along to these, you have at least conceptually understood how the chords are being built, and then you will start making the connections between what's being played and what you're doing on the keyboard. And I would say that is the easiest and most logical way, and a contextual also way to learn the chords. Give it a go. I am curious how it works for you. I hope this helps. Enjoy.